Good morning. My arms hurt from yesterday's workout, so I'm doing my my reading for today. I think I'm going to start doing them 3 times a week for myself, just to see what the heck's going on. So let's do Wednesday morning breakfast tarot and see what they have to say for me. Just my question is, well, I have to speak to somebody today. So, and somebody I haven't talked to in a minute that we had a little issue. So I'm going to ask what the cards think is going to happen with that little encounter today. And while we're all talking about that, how about if you guys send me some energy to be in total control of myself and be able to be a reasonable human when I have this conversation with my person. So let's see what we get for my significantor card this morning. Just want to shuffle a little more. I don't feel quite ready. It happens sometimes. I did get up this morning and do my meditations and my prayer, so I feel pretty good about that because that's what I set out to do this week yesterday when we had our little evolve thing. Okay, and if you guys see something different, pop into the comments and we'll go from there. So, Page of Wands is my significantor card today. Just move that. I'll lay out the rest of them, then we'll talk. Me and my friggin' reverse cards, let me just tell you. Okay, so here we go. So the Page of Wands is the significantor card, which is usually all about the beginnings of something, learning something that has to do with the suit that you're dealing with. And so these are wands, and wands are all about action and movement and what's happening. So I guess, and this to me when I look at this card, and the thing with tarot is, folks, each reading should be different. You can get a baseline from a book and it will tell you what those cards are supposed to mean. But as a reader, what we're supposed to be doing is being tuned into what Spirit is telling us is happening in this card. So you try to pay attention to what's in the card and what sticks out at you. And to me, right away, what I saw when I picked up this card was the child's hands on the wand, which means learning to have control over all that fire and all of that movement. So that's where I am right now, which is pretty accurate for where I am. Then I have in the past with this question, which is going to move me forward into what I need to do today when I have to have this encounter with this person, is the 9 of Cups, the 5 of Wands reversed, and the Chariot card reversed. So the 9 of Wands is, in the past, everything was good. Things were the way they should have been. Fat, dumb, and happy is how I like to refer to this card, thinking that everything was emotionally good. I was in a really good place. I was really, really happy in this situation with this person before. And then I have the 5 of Wands, again, movement, reversed. And generally, if I look at this card this way, the way I see it is conflict with oneself. But this is conflict with others, a lot of other people, not just this person, but a whole lot of people and situations, probably similar people and situations. So maybe a bunch of us together, which pretty much is true. There is a group of us that are involved in all of this. And then I have the Chariot reversed. And the Chariot is also about movement, but when it's this way, it's about knowing where you're going and being driven to that place. This is chaos, and shit is just not real good. So the ending of what happened, which I see as accurate, was a lot of going off the rails, just going off the rails. And where we are right now, I have the Devil card, I have the 5 of Pence reversed, and I have the 9 of Wands reversed. Trying to hold on to something that's not going to get you any movement or any place is when I see the Devil card. You can break free of your bonds if you really want to, little Zoe Rhodes, but what you're doing is hanging on to shit that you don't need to be hanging on to. And probably the person that I'm having the issue with is also hanging on to things that they probably shouldn't be holding on to. Both of us want to go in different directions, but neither one of us are getting any traction. So it's going to be a real difficult conversation today because we're probably not going to see eye to eye on this particular topic of discussion. Then we have the 5 of Pence reversed. If I see it this way, generally what I see is there's a lot of bad shit that's going on. There's been a lot of catastrophe, but the answers are there. Your foundation has probably been shaken a little bit, but you have things and situations you can do. And 5s, like I said, are very odd numbers and one of my favorite numbers, by the way. But this is reversed. So it's probably as bad as I thought it would be. It's probably not, things are not, well, wait, let me take that back. I don't know if I feel that way. I don't know if I feel that way. I think that the way I see this card is standing up, stand your ground, because his foot and that staff are really, you know, kind of the things that are the most present. And yeah, there's darkness and shit around, but we can figure out a meeting of the minds if we really try. The 9 of Wands reversed. The 9 of Wands is always about choosing your battles, but we only have one particular issue. And I think that that's going to be the crux of this, is trying to figure out what the root of that issue is. What's the root of the issue, so that we can be able to deal with what we need to in this situation. Then in the future card, I have the 7 of Swords, the Star reversed, and the 3 of Cups. I probably am not going to like the answers that I get. I'm probably going to still feel like I've been ripped off. I'm probably still going to be a little emotionally harmed, but I'll be thinking mostly with my head about why I feel the way that I do. Or it could be that I'm just going to say, fuck this, and take my whole self up out of this situation and move on with it. Probably more that, because I don't think I'm really going to be, yeah. See what my eye goes to? I don't know if you can see that. It's really hard. There's 2 swords behind him on the wall. And the way that I am seeing this card today, usually it's like them stealing the swords and hopping over. But to me, it's like bringing the swords. He's got 3 in his hand and 2 behind him. So like he's hopping back onto the other side is how this card jumps out at me right now. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I'm holding on to that I need to think about, but there's other situations or things that I need to think about too, that this other person's going to bring up that maybe I should consider. You know, don't know for sure what that's going to be, but that's what I see. Probably have to throw something down on that one to make it more clear. The Star reversed. It's going to be very confusing. It's going to be very emotional. It's going to be kind of muddy. It's going to be a hard thing for me to grasp. And then, but the 3 of Cups shows celebration and understanding and happiness and emotional wellness. So, you know, it's going to be all over the place. I'm sure both of us are going to have some issues. So let's see. I think I really want to go to this Devil card first and see what the deal is there, because both of us, like I said, are holding on to shit and see different destinations, but we're not going to have any movement in the beginning of this conversation. And then I have the Knight of Pence reversed, Temperance reversed, and the Ace of Swords straight up. So losing my footing in the beginning of it, and I'm going to feel like nothing's going to change, and if that's all going to be in my head. So I need to approach this in a different situation. I've got to have an open mind when him and I have the conversation, especially when we get to the part where it feels like we're not seeing eye to eye. I have to open my mind on that spot. And then I want to look at this 9. Oh no, let's look at the 5 of Wands reversed. King of Wands, the Magician reversed, and the Hierophant. So the King of Wands is a fiery, dynamic personality, which either the person I'm having the issue with or a person influencing the situation. It could be either, because I know there's a person influencing the situation who also has a very dynamic personality. So for sure that could be it. The Magician card, when it's straight up and down, usually tells me I have all the tools, but I don't have all the tools to deal with this situation. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes than I even know about. So I need to be really careful about how I approach this and realize that I can't see everything, and stuff is not being all laid out in front of me the way it needs to be. And I need to rely on my spirituality to actually help me and my beliefs to know, and I'm allowed to have those beliefs, is what this is all telling me, just standing in my own beliefs and knowing that I have the right thing to happen. Let me look at the 7 of Swords card. I get the 2 of Wands, the Empress, and the 4 of Swords. So the 2 of Wands is, to me, 2s are about balancing and 1s are about movement. So you gotta be a little open-minded, but he's also holding the world in his hands. So I do have the wherewithal in my own mind to take the action that I need to do to be able to have the confrontation with this person that I need to do. And I can birth some really good ideas for this person. I can nurture the conversation if I'm careful, because I already know all the answers. That's what the 4 of Swords tells me, is do you rest in what you know is happening around you, and don't be distracted by other things. Because let me see. The other thing I like to look at when I lay my cards down is what's underneath really significant things that pop up in my head. So I have the Devil in the present, and in the future I have the 7 of Swords, and those are right next to, one above the other. And then I have the 5 of Pence next to that. So what do I see there? I have to be really certain that I do know what I'm talking about when I am, and I need to make sure that I stay in my head and not go to where my heart is, because if I do that, I'm gonna fuck things up. So that's what I see. That's what I see today. Let me look at this 9 of Wands reversed. Oh, look, Wheel of Fortune, King of Cups. Okay, yeah. So I need to understand and remember that, the battles are already there, and that the seeds have already been planted for those battles, and I really don't get to pick and choose any of them, but I need to be smart about how I approach all of this, because anything can happen when you get the Wheel of Fortune. It's a spinning thing. It's good, it's bad, it's indifferent, it's whatever. And that is the potential of this confrontation, and the King of Cups is definitely the person I'm going to have the confrontation with. It's all about him. So his emotions right now with the conflict that we have has been turned upside down, and he's all over the freaking map. But this could also, because I get the Death card right next to that, mean that things are going to take a different turn. Things are going to come out new at the end of it. And let's look at the Celebration, the 3 of Cups card. Broken Hearts, 3 of Swords reversed, Knight of Cups, and Knight of Wands. So we had, like, when I see the 3 of Swords, Broken Hearts, and that's what it says to me. But swords are about your mind. So maybe the thoughts in my mind are the things that broke my heart to begin with, and maybe I'll see things a little bit differently. The Knight of Cups is all about a message and telling people the story of things. Knights and fighting for my emotions and fighting